My girlfriend refused to split any bills, saying, "A woman should be pampered." When I asked her to contribute, she scoffed. "If you can't afford me, you don't deserve me." So I left. Months later, she ran into me at a 5-star restaurant with my new girlfriend. Her jaw dropped as my date laughed. "Guess he upgraded. I met Samantha at a friend's barbecue in Austin, Texas. She was captivating, long auburn hair, piercing green eyes, and a laugh that seemed to draw everyone in. We started talking over grilled burgers and cold beers, finding common ground in our love for live music and Tex-Mex cuisine. Our connection deepened quickly. Within months, Samantha moved into my modest 2-bedroom apartment. I worked as a software developer, earning a stable income, while she pursued freelance fashion design. Initially, I was more than willing to cover most of our expenses: rent, utilities, groceries, and our nights out. I believed in supporting her dreams and didn't mind shouldering the financial load. However, as time went on, the imbalance began to weigh on me. Every date night, every grocery run, every bill, it all fell on my shoulders. I started to feel more like a provider than a partner. One evening, after paying for another expensive dinner, I broached the subject. "Samantha," I began cautiously, "do you think you could contribute a bit to our expenses? Maybe we could split some bills?" She looked at me, her expression a mix of surprise and disdain. "A woman should be pampered," she replied. "If you can't afford me, you don't deserve me." Her words hit me hard. I felt a mix of hurt and confusion. Was our relationship based solely on what I could provide? I decided to let it slide that night, hoping it was a one-time comment. But the pattern continued. She'd indulge in shopping sprees, returning home with bags from high-end boutiques, never once considering the strain it put on our finances. When I mentioned budgeting, she'd wave me off, saying, "Money's meant to be spent. Why stress over it?" The breaking point came during a dinner at a high-end steakhouse downtown. Samantha ordered the most expensive items on the menu, including a $200 bottle of wine. As the waiter placed the check on the table, I hesitated. I had been saving for months to afford this dinner, hoping to celebrate her recent freelance success. Taking a deep breath, I said, "Would you mind covering the tip tonight?" She laughed, a sharp, dismissive sound. "If you can't handle this, maybe you should find someone within your budget." That night, I lay awake, reflecting on our relationship. The love and partnership I once felt had been overshadowed by entitlement and expectation. The next morning, I made the difficult decision to end things. The weeks that followed were tough. I questioned my self-worth and wondered if I'd made the right choice. To distract myself, I immersed myself in work, took up new hobbies, and reconnected with old friends. During this period, I enrolled in a cooking class, hoping to pick up some culinary skills. It was there that I met Lily. She was warm, genuine, and had an infectious enthusiasm for life. Working as a nutritionist, she had a deep passion for helping others. Our conversations flowed effortlessly, and I found myself looking forward to our classes just to spend time with her. Lily and I started dating. From the beginning, our relationship felt different. We split expenses, supported each other's ambitions, and celebrated each other's successes. There was a balance, a mutual respect that had been missing before. Several months into our relationship, Lily and I decided to dine at Uchi, a renowned sushi restaurant in Austin. As we were seated, I noticed a familiar figure across the room, Samantha, dining with a group of friends. Our eyes met briefly. She did a double take, clearly surprised to see me. Her gaze shifted to Lily, who was laughing at something I had said. The contrast was palpable. As we enjoyed our meal, Samantha approached our table. "Hi," she said, forcing a smile. "It's been a while." I nodded. "Yes, it has." She looked at Lily, then back at me. "You look different." Before I could respond, Lily extended her hand. "I'm Lily. Nice to meet you." Samantha hesitated, then shook her hand. "Likewise." As she walked away, Lily leaned in and whispered, "Guess you upgraded." That encounter was a revelation. It reaffirmed my belief in self-worth and the importance of mutual respect in a relationship. I had allowed myself to be undervalued, believing that love required sacrifice at the expense of my own well-being. With Lily, I found a partner who valued me for who I was, not for what I could provide. Our relationship was built on equality, understanding, and genuine affection. It's been 2 years since that night. Lily and I are now engaged, planning a modest wedding surrounded by close friends and family. Samantha and I haven't crossed paths since, but I hope she found what she was looking for. Looking back, I realize that sometimes, the most painful experiences lead to the most profound growth. And in the end, the best revenge is living well. A few weeks after the dinner at Uchi, things started to shift. Not between Lily and me, we were still solid. But Samantha wasn't gone. She resurfaced in a way I didn't expect. It started with a message on LinkedIn. I was at work, sipping cold coffee, just getting through emails when her name popped up. Samantha. No subject line. Just a short message. Hey. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to check in. I stared at it for a while. I didn't respond. 2 days later, another message. I've been thinking a lot about our time together. Would love to catch up if you're open to it. This time, I blocked her. I had no intention of dragging myself back into that chaos. But it didn't stop there. Lily started getting weird anonymous texts. First, they were vague stuff like, "He's not who you think he is," and "Ask him about Samantha." I didn't notice at first because Lily didn't want to stress me out. She figured it was just some troll. But then one message came through that said, "He'll cheat on you like he cheated on me." That's when she showed me. I was furious. I knew exactly what was happening. Samantha had always been petty and dramatic when she didn't get her way. But this was a different level. Trying to poison my relationship? Sending messages to my girlfriend? I reached out to a friend of mine who worked in IT security. He helped me trace the messages. They were coming from a number linked to a Google account, under a fake name, of course, but the IP address matched one near Samantha's neighborhood. Still, I didn't want to go nuclear. I sent her one last message through a mutual friend who still talked to her. Leave Lily alone. You made your choices. I've moved on. Don't make this worse. For a while it stopped. But peace didn't last. One morning, Lily called me at work. She was shaking. She had gone to a local coffee shop and found Samantha sitting there, waiting. She didn't say anything aggressive, just weird things, stuff like, "I hope he doesn't hurt you the way he hurt me," and "Men like him don't change." Lily left without engaging, but it rattled her. I was done playing nice. I called Samantha directly this time. She didn't pick up. I left a voicemail that was short and calm. "This needs to stop. You're crossing lines now. If I have to go to the police, I will." The next day, Samantha posted a long, vague rant on Instagram. Talking about fake people, men who pretend to be kind, and manipulative relationships. She didn't mention my name, but mutual friends who saw it knew. And they told me. My phone blew up that night. What pissed me off most was how she twisted everything. She made it sound like I had used her, like I had promised her the world and then abandoned her. She left out the part where she laughed in my face when I asked her to split bills. Left out the shopping sprees, the insults, the arrogance. Then came the bombshell. I got served. A notice for a civil suit. Samantha was claiming I had promised to support her financially while she built her brand, and that my sudden abandonment left her in emotional and professional distress. She wanted compensation. Actual money. I laughed at first. But then I read it again. She had hired a real lawyer. She was actually serious. I had to get a lawyer myself. I pulled records, bank statements, text messages, even a voice recording I had saved from the night she told me, "If you can't afford me, you don't deserve me." My lawyer said we had a strong case, but I still had to show up in court, explain my side, lay it all out. Lily stood by me. She came with me to meetings, helped me gather documents, even dealt with the stress better than I did. But I could see the tension building. It was eating away at her. At us. Samantha's lawsuit didn't stand a chance legally, but emotionally? She knew exactly where to hit. And it worked. Lily started pulling away. She wasn't cold, just quieter. More tired. Less playful. We stopped going out. Stopped laughing like we used to. One night she told me, I didn't sign up for this drama. And she was right. She hadn't. I began to worry that Samantha wouldn't just ruin my past. She'd ruin my future too. So I made a choice. I went public. I posted a detailed, calm write-up on a forum I trusted, with everything, screenshots, receipts, dates. I didn't use her name, but it was clear enough. I wanted to reclaim my story before she twisted it anymore. The post went viral. People rallied. Some recognized Samantha from other relationships. Others shared similar stories. It gave me a strange sense of power again, like I wasn't at her mercy anymore. I wasn't hiding. But even then, part of me knew this wasn't over. Not yet. Things quieted down for a few weeks after my post went viral. Lily and I tried to get back into our rhythm. We took a weekend trip to Fredericksburg, stayed at a quiet cabin, turned our phones off, and tried to hit reset. But that peace didn't last. One night, I came home late from work. Lily was sitting on the couch, holding her phone. She didn't look up when I walked in. Her voice was flat. She messaged my mom. I sat down, stunned. Samantha had somehow found Lily's mother on Facebook and sent her a long, emotional message. In it, she painted herself as a victim, claimed I was mentally abusive, and warned Lily's mom to keep her daughter safe. The message was long, manipulative, and full of half-truths stretched so far they may as well have been lies. Lily's mom, thankfully, didn't buy into it. She had met me a few times and told Lily she thought Samantha was unwell. But it still shook Lily. The idea that someone would go that far, to reach into her family, to cause trouble like that, put her on edge. It put me on edge too. This wasn't just bitterness. It was obsession. I spoke to my lawyer again. He suggested we file a restraining order. I was hesitant, but he made a good point. This isn't just harassment anymore. It's targeted psychological warfare. So we started the process. Then, something strange happened. I got a call from HR at work. They had received an anonymous email. It contained screenshots, badly edited ones, suggesting I had been using company funds for personal expenses. There was a fake receipt with my name on it, made to look like I'd used a company card at a luxury hotel. The thing is, I don't even have a company card. Thankfully, our finance team spotted the fake instantly. But the damage was done. I had to sit through a formal meeting, explain everything, and go under review for a few days until they cleared me. I was humiliated, even if it was baseless. My boss was supportive, but stern. "You've got someone out for you, man. Handle it." I knew who it was. It couldn't be anyone else. I changed my number. Again. Lily deleted all her social media. We locked down everything, emails, phone numbers, even our home address. We moved to a new apartment across town, closer to her work, with security at the front gate. We tried to rebuild. But the damage was lingering. We were always waiting for the next hit. A text. A call. A lie. One night I caught Lily crying quietly in the bathroom. She didn't want me to see, but I did. She was scared. And I felt helpless. A few weeks later, the lawsuit was dismissed. The judge didn't even entertain it. Called it baseless and vindictive. We thought that would be the end of it. It wasn't. 2 days later, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was a journalist. He said someone had sent him a package full of documents, texts, and photos alleging that I had emotionally abused my ex and now was using my influence to silence her. The journalist had done his research, though. He read my original post. He saw through the edits. He didn't publish anything. But he warned me. She's trying to build a public case against you. Be careful. Then the real twist hit. Someone hacked into Lily's work email. They didn't take anything or steal any info. Instead, they sent a long, rambling email from her address to her entire department, accusing her of being a homewrecker, of breaking up a woman's life, and claiming she enabled an abuser. Her manager called her in. They believed her, but she still got suspended while IT reviewed the breach. She was humiliated. She felt targeted. Violated. That was when Lily cracked. She told me she needed space. That maybe we should take a break, just for a while, to clear our heads, to breathe. I understood. But it crushed me. We didn't break up, not exactly. But I moved into a short-term rental. Alone. The apartment felt cold, like everything inside it was paused. I still talked to Lily, but it was brief. Surface level. I could feel the distance growing. And Samantha? She went quiet. No messages. No fake profiles. No emails. Nothing. It scared me more than the noise. Because silence from someone like her isn't peace. It's planning. The silence stretched for almost 2 months. No calls. No messages. No new drama. For a while, I started to believe maybe she'd finally let go. Maybe Lily and I would find our way back. I called her sometimes. She answered, but the tone was different. She sounded tired. Detached. She said she needed more time. Then I got an email. From a name I didn't know. It had a video attached, no subject line. Just a single sentence. Since you like exposure so much, let's be fair. I clicked it. It was a screen recording. At first, just someone clicking through folders on a computer. Then, a folder opened labeled His Secrets. Inside, dozens of screenshots. Some were fake, clearly photoshopped, but others were real. Old messages between me and Samantha. Some from the very beginning of our relationship when we were still figuring things out. I had vented about Lily to Samantha early on, before I even knew where it was going with either of them. There were moments I wasn't proud of. Nothing abusive. Nothing cruel. But stuff I never wanted Lily to see. Stuff that would make me look dishonest. Then the screen shifted. A new tab opened, an email draft. Written to Lily. All those screenshots were pasted into it. With a message. Thought you deserved to know who he really is. My stomach dropped. I had no way of knowing if it had been sent yet. I called Lily. No answer. I drove straight to her apartment. She opened the door slowly. Her eyes were red. She had seen it. Why didn't you tell me? She asked. I didn't think it mattered, I said. It was before us. Before I even knew how much I cared about you. She looked at me for a long time. But you still lied. I tried to explain. How twisted everything had become. How Samantha had wormed her way into every part of my life. How scared I was. But it didn't matter. The damage was done. Lily said she needed time to think. I knew what that meant. That night I didn't sleep. I sat in my car outside her apartment for hours, replaying everything. Every choice. Every red flag I ignored. Every time I chose silence instead of truth. The next morning, I woke up to a barrage of messages. Someone had posted the video. Not just the one of the email, but also edited clips of me arguing with Samantha from an old recording she'd secretly made. Cut, chopped, twisted to look like I was angry. Aggressive. Toxic. It spread fast. My name trended in small circles. A niche blog picked it up. The post I had made defending myself? People started to call it damage control. Fake. Manipulative. I lost my job 2 days later. They didn't say it was because of the video, but the timing said enough. Then I got the final blow. Lily sent me one message. Short. Final. I loved you. But I can't trust you. She blocked me after that. I sat there, staring at the screen, feeling everything cave in. My job, my relationship, my reputation, gone. Burned to ash by someone I once trusted. Someone I let into my home. My life. My heart. But something inside me changed that day. I stopped feeling sorry for myself. I started documenting everything, every email, every lie, every fake account I could trace back to Samantha. I hired a private investigator. Cost me more than I could afford, but it was worth it. We built a case. Took months. But we caught her. Fake profiles. Dozens. Stolen photos. IP logs. Email tracking data. The investigator handed me a thick file, and I handed it straight to my lawyer. This time, we were the ones filing suit. Defamation. Harassment. Cyberstalking. She was served at a fashion networking event, surrounded by people she was trying to impress. Her face turned white. The trial made local news. I didn't hide. I testified, shared evidence, stayed calm. She crumbled. Her lies caught up to her under pressure. She cried on the stand. Claimed it was all a misunderstanding. But the truth was clear. The court ruled in my favor. She had to pay damages. A public apology was ordered. Her freelance clients backed out one by one. Her brand collapsed. I should have felt victorious. But I didn't. I felt empty. I still lost Lily. Months passed. I got a new job in a different city. Smaller company. Less pay. But peaceful. No more eyes watching me. No more whispers. Then, one rainy evening, I opened my inbox. One new message. From Lily. Just 3 lines. I saw the trial. I'm sorry you went through all of that. I hope you're okay. I stared at it for a long time. Didn't know what to say. Because here's the thing, I made mistakes too. I kept quiet when I should have been honest. I allowed things to get worse out of fear. I underestimated how badly lies can stick, even the small ones. That silence cost me more than Samantha ever could. So no, I didn't respond. Not because I'm bitter. But because some stories don't get clean endings. Some just leave a scar you learn to live with. And some people, no matter how much you once loved them, become reminders of a fire you'll never walk into again.